Our final lightning talks is from 3 speakers who will be discussing NDF's Executive Digital Mentoring Program. First is Lucie Paterson, the Head of Experience, Digital and Insights at ACMI. With 15 years of experience at leading cultural institutions, including the South Bank Centre in London and here at Te Papa, Lucie is at the forefront of change and innovation in the museum field. Also, Liz Cotton is Director of Museum and Arts at Waikato Museum in Kirikiriroa, Hamilton, leading the strategic direction and management of this significant regional museum and art gallery and art strategy for Hamilton City Council. She's the chair of ICOM Aotearoa New Zealand Committee, a current member of the Lottery's Environment and Heritage Committee, and Te Tuhi Contemporary Arts Trust, and was the past chair and member of the museum's Aotearoa board. And finally, Honiana Love is tumu whakarei at Ngā Taonga Sound and Vision, and was previously Senior Advisor Māori at Manatū Taonga, Ministry for Culture and Heritage. She has over 25 years of archival experience, including working as an archivist at Archives New Zealand and Te Reo o Taranaki, and as a librarian. Please welcome all 3 of them.
Thank you, Jim. Kia ora koutou. It is an absolute pleasure to have Honiana and Liz with me this morning to talk through the Executive Digital Mentoring Program. And thank you so much for agreeing to share some of your experience with us today. For those that aren't across the program, it connects an executive level arts and cultural professional with a digital leader through a mentoring relationship designed to enhance their knowledge of digital strategy and technology-informed innovation. The program seeks to help leaders make better investments in long-term technology and digital skills, lots of what we've been talking about during the conference, and understand the risks and opportunities in a rapidly changing digital environment. It was founded by ACMI CEO Seb Chan, and after 2 years in Australia, the first chapter, the NDF chapter, is the first time it's left Australian shores, and we're going to hear from the 2 participants about how the program went. So, Honiana, if we can start with you, if you could just tell us a little bit about why you participated in the program and where you and your organisation were at the time.
Kia ora, thanks Lucy. Tēnā tātou, tēnei te mihi o tēnei uri no Taranaki maunga kia koutou katoa. I think that the thing that really attracted me to the program was just Ngā Taonga is at a point in our development where we received in 2020 funding to do a big digital preservation project, which is going to mean that 75% of our collection is digital. We knew we needed to make a transformation, and really we've started on that journey, but now we really need to get it moving, really understand who we are going to be as a digital archive with analogue pathways rather than the traditional analogue archive.
And have there been things already that you can tell from the partnership that your thinking has changed and how you've approached that project?
I think, so my mentor, Paula Bray from the Victoria State Library, one of the things that she really brought home to me was the importance of having a advocacy in the leadership roles. So both in our board, but also in our leadership team and in the CE. So we've got to get behind this, we've got to support this, and what she showed me was not just the projects that she has participated in and the things that she's been doing, but she also helped me to see what happens when you don't have that level of support within your leadership and the level of understanding that we need. So she helped me on a journey to understand what my role could be in ensuring that as we move into being a digital archive, we have got the tools in place that we need to make sure that can happen.
And Liz, what about you?
Oh, kia ora Lucy, kia ora koutou. Well, I applied for the mentoring scheme because I could see a real gap in my knowledge, but also in where the museum Waikato Museum was at in terms of its digital engagement and strategic direction. I've been in the role there for 2 years, and because we're a council-owned and funded museum, all of our strategies, all our direction is either led by, it has to go through council and often has to be approved by elected members, and because I'm a slightly subversive person, I was trying to figure out ways to work around that. Anyone who works at Auckland Museum will know that. And I started this to really think about how we can develop frameworks for our activity and to really ambitiously shift up what we were doing, but without having to go through the bureaucratic mechanism of really rethinking our entire strategic direction. And I just want to acknowledge Keir Winesmith from NFSA, who is my mentor, and he totally got what I was trying to do and really helped me to understand that in order to develop and to fill that gap between where we are and where I wanted us to be, a whole lot of work has to happen, but it can be a kind of program of work and a suite of work that might end up being different documents, could be pictorial representations of where we want to be, but for different audiences, and how to take the team on that journey. And one of the first things we talked about was I'm a graduate of the Getty Leadership Program, and one of the things that you learn through that, and it's that sort of Peter Drucker leadership thought process, is that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And I've spent 2 years building the team culture and who we are and how we work together, but now we need to do the next step. And so this has been really, really helpful for me in doing that.
And it sounds like, I had a chat to Kieran the other night, and it sounds like even though it's the program is very focused on digital transformation, it sounds like it's been much broader for you in terms of the whole organisational strategy. I know that you came into the program thinking about a gallery renewal and how you'd integrate technology and etc., but how has your thinking changed about how integral digital is across everything we do now?
Well, that's right, and I worked at Auckland Museum for many years, and I observed big museums like Te Papa, and they do amazing things in the digital space, but the simple reality is if you work in a small museum or a smaller regional museum, everyone does a bit of everything. So it's how you move that. There's a digital, that thinking of there's a digital department and a digital lead on things to integrate it across everyone's work program, and everyone has a shared responsibility for it. And that's something that I've always believed. And the fact that I'm here at NDF, and I've never been to NDF before, and I've worked in this sector for over 25 years, it's always been slightly separate from my role, and now I see it very much as part of everyone's role.
And Honiana, kind of thinking about what Liz was saying, you talked a bit about your how Paula has made you understand more your role with advocating for digital up to the board, etc. But what about for the rest of your organisation, and what Liz was saying about the culture and what you'll need internally to see your vision through?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. We do need to take our whole organisation on this journey, and we've got a number of people here at NDF to help inspire that thinking within the organisation, but there absolutely needs to be more work done. And I think that one of the great things that I got out of the program, as well as being able to work closely with Paula for the short amount of time that we did, was the connections and just the opening up of minds. And I think that that's what NDF has brought to the table whenever I've participated in these forums, and I think that will happen for our staff as well. So we need to look for those opportunities, need to look for ways to both support our people to connect more with what a digital future looks like, but also make those connections across organisations and across collections, and across sectors, because it's not just all about the heritage sector. There's lots happening in many of the areas that we touch on.
And just picking up on those collaborations and partnerships, one of the things that we were excited about when we were going through or doing the selection criteria for who would be participants was really getting regional museums and the regions involved. And Liz, I wondered if any of your thinking has changed or if you've thought of any new opportunities to get together regionally on some of this work?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we're very fortunate at Waikato Museum. We are cross-disciplinary. We are the regional art gallery as well as the regional museum, and we have a science centre. And I think there's a real opportunity for us to be kind of at a centre of a lot of really worthwhile conversations in the wider Waikato region, supporting the even smaller museums to really develop in this area and for us to be sharing our knowledge a lot more generously as well. Mm-hmm.
We've got 30 seconds left. Honiana, is there anything you would like to add that I haven't asked?
I think the other thing that it's made me think about is how we connect better with iwi and hapu in the digital space. I think that's for me that's a real driver, and so we've been connecting a bit with iwi Leaders Digital Forum and the great work that they're doing. So I'd just encourage people to have a bit of a look if you are wanting to connect with iwi and hapu, and you know, go back to what was said earlier, that you know we shouldn't be doing anything with iwi without iwi, or about iwi without iwi, yeah. So just really encourage you to have a look at what Te Kahui Raraunga is doing as well.
And that's a great segue into our next talk. But before we get there, thank you so much for having such an open dialogue with me about this. And I hope it really encourages some of you to check the website and make sure that you're looking out for our NDF emails. We do have another round happening next year in the first 6 months for executive leaders. So if you're thinking that this might be something you want to get involved with, or you think one of your leaders needs to do this kind of program, please get in touch with us. Kia ora.